الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد. قال الإمام أبو الحسين مسلم بن الحجاج القشيري رحمه الله تعالى في كتابه الصحيح: حدثني أبو خيثمة زهير بن حرب قال حدثني كعب قال حدثني عبد الله بن بريدة عن يحيى بن يعمر رحمهم الله تعالى عن عبد الله بن عمر رضي الله تعالى عنه أنه قال: حدثني أبي عمر بن الخطاب رضي الله عنه قال: بينما نحن جلوس عند رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم ذات يوم اطلع علينا رجل شديد بياض الثياب شديد سواد الشعر لا يرى عليه أثر السفر ولا يعرفه منا أحد، حتى جلس إلى النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم فأسند ركبتيه إلى ركبتيه ووضع كفيه على فخذيه فقال: يا محمد أخبرني عن الإسلام. فقال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم: عن الإسلام أن تشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأن محمد رسول الله وتقيم الصلاة وتؤتي الزكاة وتصوم رمضان وتحج البيت إن استطعت إليه سبيلا. قال: صدقت. قال: فعجبنا له ويسأله ويصدقه. قال: فأخبرني عن الإيمان. قال: الإيمان أن تؤمن بالله وملائكته وكتبه ورسله وتؤمن بقدر خيره وشره. قال: فأخبرني عن الإحسان. قال: أن تعبد الله كأنك تراه فإن لم تكن تراه فإنه يراك. قال: فأخبرني عن الساعة. قال: ما المسؤول عنها بأعلم من السائل. قال: فأخبرني عن أماراتها. قال: أن تلد الأمة ربتها وأن ترى الكفاة العراة العالة رياء الشاب يتطاولون في البنيان. قال: ثم انطلق فلبثت مليا. فقال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم: يا عمر أتدري من السائل؟ قلت: الله ورسوله أعلم. قال: فإنه جبريل أتاكم يعلمكم دينكم، أو بهذا المعنى. This hadith, as many of you guys has probably heard, and I could see that some of you were shaking their heads because you recognize this hadith. It's a well-known hadith. It's not permissible for a Muslim to ignore this hadith. And it's none other than the hadith known as the hadith of Jibreel, alayhi salatu wasalam, narrated by the companion Umar. He said that one day we were sitting down with Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and a man came to us. He had pitch black hair, and his clothing were white. There was no sign of him being a traveler, but none of us knew him. I.e., He's not from Medina, so he should be from somewhere else. But he's not a traveler as well, so who is he? Umar radiallahu anhu said that the man came to Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and he sat next to him, in front of him. And he put his knees to the knees of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And he put his hand on the thighs of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and said to him, Ya Muhammad, tell me about Islam. What is Islam? The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam told him, Islam is that you testify that none has the right to be worshipped except Allah. And that you accomplish the salah, you pray, you fast in Ramadan, you give zakat and you perform hajj if you can. The man said, Sadaqt, you have told the truth. Umar said, فَعَجِبْنَا لَهُ. He was surprised. How was he asking him a question? And he's saying to the Prophet ﷺ, you told the truth. He said, Oh Muhammad, tell me about Iman. What is Iman? What's belief? The Prophet ﷺ said to him, Iman is that you believe in Allah, and you believe in the books that Allah sent down, you believe in the messages of the prophets, you believe in the angels, you believe in the qadr, and you believe in Yawm al-Qiyamah as well. The man said, Sadaqt, you've told the truth. He said, tell me about Ihsan. Prophet ﷺ told him, Ihsan is that you worship Allah as though you can see Him. Because although you cannot see Him, He can see you. Remember this. He said to the Prophet ﷺ, tell me about the Sa'ah. What is Yawm al-Qiyamah? When is Yawm al-Qiyamah going to be established? The Prophet ﷺ said to him, مَا الْمَسْئُولُ عَنْهَا بِأَعْلَمُ مِنَ السَّائِلِ. The one being asked about it doesn't know just like the one asking the question. I don't know and you don't know when it's going to be. So he said, tell me about the signs of Yawm al-Qiyamah. What are some of the signs? The Prophet ﷺ said that when you're going to see a slave woman giving birth to her mistress or her master, and then when you're going to see poor people who used to be shepherds, and now they're competing in building high buildings. ثم انطلق, then the man left. And Umar radiallahu anhu said that, and then I stayed. The Prophet ﷺ asked me, Ya Umar, do you know who that was? Do you know who that person was? He said, Allah wa Rasul Alam. Allah and His Messenger knows best. He said, it was Jibreel. He came to teach you your religion. As I said, this hadith is very important for every Muslim, for all of us. And no Muslim should ignore this hadith. This hadith is just like Surah Al-Fatiha. You know how Surah Al-Fatiha is Kitab? Surah Al-Fatiha is the door to the Quran. Surah Al-Fatiha is like the Mukhtasar, a summary of what the Quran mentions. This is just like this hadith. This hadith is from the mothers of ahadith that you would know. We have many benefits that we can take from this hadith. And this is what our khutbah is going to be about. From the benefits that we take from this hadith is that the Prophet ﷺ used to be a humble person. How many of you guys, how many of us know leaders who sit down with the people? How many of us know leaders who they are always away from the people? They don't want the people to bother them. That's not how the Prophet ﷺ used to be. So you as a leader, the Imam of the Masjid, or a father, or a teacher for example, if you have a position in your family for example, you have to be close to people and humble yourself. The Prophet ﷺ wasn't arrogant. And as he said, ﷺ, none of you is going to enter Jannah if you have a dot of kibr in your heart. So the Prophet ﷺ was a person who was accessible to the community. And he was busy. And you know he had 9 wives and many companions. And he would travel. But he would make time for the people. If you came in the majlis and the Prophet ﷺ was sitting down, you wouldn't know he was the Prophet. And this is narrated in a hadith again. People would come and they would ask, where is Muhammad? We're looking for Muhammad. And they would say to him, you see that man right there? That's Muhammad. And the people are surprised. How is he Muhammad that we heard of? And he's not like the kings of the Romans or the Persians who have big thrones. Some didn't have a throne like that. La. So we learn from this hadith that a person has to be humble. You have to practice humility. You can't be a person who your children can't advise you. The people of the masjid, they can't give you advice. You don't listen to no one because you're the boss, because you're the leader. La. This is not what Islam came with. And this wasn't the guidance of the Prophet ﷺ. But Allah Ta'ala told Prophet to seek advice from his companions. فإذا عزمت فتوكل على الله وشاورهم في العمل فإذا عزمت فتوكل على الله. Consult them in the affairs of the Muslims. And when you take a decision, put your trust in Allah Azza wa Jalla and do it. From the benefits that we have from this hadith is that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam sunnah, or the way he would teach people, it wasn't only him doing it. Learning is also from you asking questions. So it's permissible for you, if you want the people to benefit, if you want the people to know about something, you come and you ask the question so that people can benefit and the answer can be given. From the most important benefits of this hadith is what was mentioned at the beginning, what is Islam? And we learn from this hadith the core of Islam. And Islam is built on 5 things. Imagine if we had this building and there was pillars, and you were to take one pillar off, then a second pillar off, and then a third one. The building is going to collapse, there's no doubt about it. So now you have to weigh your Islam, or what you claim to be a Muslim, upon those 5 pillars. Testifying that none has the right to be worshipped except Allah Ta'ala without any partners. And testifying that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is his messenger. Are you truly doing that? Are you worshipping Allah the way He's supposed to? Are we doing that? Are we praying and establishing salah as the Prophet did? How are we supposed to do with khushu'? We have to think about these things. You have many people who, again, they claim Islam, and they claim to love Allah, and they claim to have Iman, but then they don't pray. They're getting ready to Ramadan. Ramadan is going to come, that's when he's going to start praying. But he only prays in Ramadan. The only salah that he established is just the Friday, just the Juhmah, that's it. And he says, and he believes he's a Muslim. Don't you know that some of the scholars consider the person who missed one salah on purpose, out of his time, to be a non-Muslim, to be a kafir? The Prophet ﷺ said in the hadith, Al-ahdu baynana wa baynahum as-salat man tarakaha faqad kafar. And tarku salah here, some scholars said that one single salah, one time, that you didn't pray on its time, then that's it, you're out. You're not a Muslim anymore. You as a Muslim who claim Islam, do you want to be in that debate? Are you a Muslim still or not? You don't want to be in that position, even if the scholars differ. And it's sad that our community today, Wallahu musta'an, you find everyone, every type of people don't pray. Old people, young people, some women don't pray, and they neglect salah just like that. The Prophet ﷺ said in the one hadith, أول ما يحاسب به العبد يوم القيامة الصلاة. The first thing that Allah Ta'ala is going to ask each and every one of us يوم القيامة concerning his own rights is salah. And if you don't come with that salah, you're in trouble. You're in trouble, we're in trouble. And salah is not just you making movements and just making the, sujood and ruku', la. Some of the pious brothers and sisters, they would consider, or they would say that it's impossible for you to have the full reward of salah. It's impossible for you. But we have to try. We can't come in salah and then we're thinking about 1 million things. And then we have excuses. La. Islam is built on 5 from those pillars, fasting in the month of Ramadan. And may Allah Azza wa Jal bring Ramadan close to us and make us live to Ramadan. Allahumma ameen. To fast that month as you should. And also to go to Hajj, or to pay zakat first. So from the things that people neglect today, wallahi, is paying zakat. We have to be on top of our finances. You see, am I a person who's supposed to pay zakat? Am I a person that's supposed to pay zakat? We're supposed to know these things. From Islam is that you go to Hajj as well. And we don't want to be from the people who, they say, I'm going to make Hajj when I'm 50 or 60. When I get older, I still have my house to pay. I need to buy a new house, a new car. I have kids now. I'm going to leave Hajj for afterwards. Billahi alayk. You want to make Hajj on a wheelchair? You want to make Hajj when you have a white beard? Or are you supposed to make Hajj when you're strong and healthy and young? How is it that many of us today, and it's very sad, except for those who Allah Azza wa Jalla has mercy on, we don't even go to Umrah, and we have money to do that. And we can't bring excuses like, oh, the inflation is too high now, blah, 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 blah. These are not excuses. Don't you know that from the asbab, from the causes of you gaining rizq, is that you go to Umrah? By you going to Umrah, wallahi, Allah is going to make your affairs easy. And He's going to add on your rizq. From the benefit of this hadith is that we learn Iman. What is Iman? Many people claim Iman, but do they know what Iman is? What does it entail? Iman is that you believe in Allah wa ta'ala as you should. You establish His rububiyyah, His uluhiyyah. You affirm His name and His attributes. Many people say, oh, Iman is in the heart. My heart is white. I believe in Allah, leave me alone. I can't do whatever I want. As long as I'm a Muslim, I believe in Allah, that's it. That's it. Ya Abdullah, billah alayk. Iman is not just that you believe. No. For you to believe and you act upon that belief. You cannot claim to love your wife or your kids, but you don't kiss them. You don't tell them I love you. You don't do anything like that. You're always away from them, but you will say you love them. فكيف بالله تبارك وتعالى? How about Allah Azza wa Jal? How can you come to love Allah? To love Allah Azza wa Jal and you don't pray and you don't do these things? La. Iman is that you believe in the prophets. All of them. Without any distinction. You believe in the angels, just like in this hadith. And from the belief of the angels is that they can take human form. Like Jibreel, alayhi salatu wasalam. And all these other pillars of Iman. Believing in the qadr. Know that that which happened in your life, it was in the decree of Allah Azza wa Jalla, and He knew this way before. So don't be sad and don't be disheartened when something happens in your life. Remember that Allah Azza wa Jalla wrote this for you. And then it could be a good thing for you. As Allah says, Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, وَعَسَىٰ أَن تَكْرَهُ شَيْئًا وَهُوَ خَيْرٌ لَكُمْ وَعَسَىٰ أَن تُحِبُّوا شَيْئًا وَهُوَ شَرٌ لَكُمْ وَاللَّهُ يَعْلَمُ وَأَنْتُمْ لَا تَعْلَمُونَ أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. الحمد لله على إحسانه والشكر له على توفيقه وامتنانه وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له تعظيما لشأنه وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله الداعي إلى رضوانه أما بعد. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Jibreel asked him, what is ihsan? And he said that is that you worship Allah Azza wa Jalla as though you can see Him. This is how the Muslim should be. You should be praying as though you could see Allah in front of you. Just like you wouldn't mess about if your parents were looking at you doing something. وَلِلَّهِ مَثَلُ الْأَعْلَى. Because if you don't see Allah Azza wa Jalla, then know that He sees you. Whether you're in the dark, whether you're in the dim, wherever you are. وَهُوَ مَعَكُمْ حَيْثُ مَا كُنْتُمْ. And He is with you wherever you are. And now that doesn't mean He's with you just like I'm in the masjid right now. La. He's with you in His knowledge. And He can see you and He can hear you. So we have to think about this when we're making sins. When we're doing sins. In apparent or when we're hiding. We have to remember that Allah is looking at you. If you're unjust on people, you stole people's money, whatever you do, then know that Allah is looking at you. And wallahi, this is something that used to make the hearts of the companions and the Salaf tremble. When you remember that Allah is looking at me. Whatever I'm doing, Allah is looking at you. You cannot hide from Him. Let's just sink in a little bit. Allah sees you everywhere. Whatever you do. It doesn't matter. The cameras that we have in the masjid, they can miss few things. Blind spots. That doesn't happen to Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. So we should think about this more often. From the signs of Yawm al-Qiyamah, as mentioned in this hadith, is that you would find people who disrespect their parents. And this is a musibah. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he was asked by a companion, Man ahaqqu an-nas bi suhbati? Who's the person who's more in right of my companionship? Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, your mother. Thumma man? Thumma ummuk. Your mother again, and then your mother again, and then your father. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said about the father, that you and your money, they belong to your father. So the parents have a great state in Islam. And we shouldn't be neglecting them. So I advise any one of you who have some type of problem with your parents, you don't call your dad, or you have some type of issue, call your parents and talk to them. And do as Allah Ta'ala said in the Quran, واخفض لهما جناح الذل من الرحمة وقل رب ارحمهما كما ربياني صغيرا. And wallahi, only people who lost their fathers and their mothers can understand this. From the oldest. If your dad and your mom is no more alive, then you can understand this thing. You would wish that Allah gave you another hour, another minute, few seconds with your dad, so you can thank him and make dua for him. My dad always says to me, when I'm going to die, you're going to regret, man. You're going to wish you had more time with me. And as young people, sometimes we don't keep it. Yeah, I know you should have lied though. What's the big deal? But ask those who don't have their parents around them. You will understand. And it doesn't matter what your dad did. Wallahi, it doesn't matter what he did. Just taking care of you and providing for you and so on and so, that's enough for you to be grateful to him. Bas. That's Allah Ta'ala to make us from those who, when they hear a reminder that apply, Allahumma ameen. Allahumma arina haqqa wa zuqna tiba'a. وأرنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك أقم الصلاة يرحمكم الله.